Anna, a young volunteer, walked along a trail with her team in an African reserve. Her backpack swayed slightly on her shoulders, binoculars hung around her neck, and her eyes shone with genuine love for this wild world. She had come from far away, leaving her familiar life behind to protect nature, observe animals, and become part of something greater. Her heart beat in unison with the rhythm of the savannah, and every day here was an adventure full of discoveries and new experiences. She felt truly alive, breathing in the scent of grass and listening to the sounds of the wild. But this day was destined to be special, a day that would change her life and remain in her memory forever. The team moved along the river, making notes in their journals. During the rainy season, the water here roared, the current was swift, and the banks were slippery and treacherous. Anna carefully scanned the surroundings, her gaze gliding across the horizon when suddenly she stopped. Her ears caught a faint, plaintive sound, almost drowned out by the noise of the water. She froze, listening closely. The sound repeated, thin, desperate, full of fear. "Did you hear that?" she whispered, turning to her teammates. "It sounds like a cub." Without waiting for a response, Anna moved toward the sound. The other volunteers exchanged glances but followed her, sensing her determination. After a few steps, she saw it, a tiny lion cub struggling in the river. Its small paws slipped on the muddy bottom, the current relentlessly pulling it down, and its weak cries grew fainter. On the bank, a few meters away, stood a pride of lions. Among them was the cub's mother, a lioness. She paced back and forth, letting out a low growl, her eyes filled with anxiety. But she didn't jump into the water. The current was too strong, the risk too great. Anna paused for just a second. Her heart clenched at the sight of the helpless cub. She knew every second counted and doubts couldn't stop her. "He won't make it," she said firmly, looking at her team. "If we don't help, he'll drown." One of the volunteers grabbed her arm, trying to stop her. "Anna, it's dangerous, you can't." "I have to," she cut in, shrugging off her backpack and handing it to her teammate. Kicking off her boots and rolling up her sleeves, Anna carefully descended to the water. The current hit her legs immediately, the cold piercing to the bone, but she didn't stop. The water lashed harder, trying to knock her off her feet, but Anna pressed forward, her gaze fixed on the cub. Its eyes, full of fear, met hers. It was so small, so weak, its strength fading with every moment. Anna waded deeper, the current nearly toppling her, but she held on, gripping rocks and protruding roots. Finally, she reached the cub. Gently but firmly, she grabbed it, pressing its trembling body to her chest. The cub let out a faint whimper, its wet fur sticking to her hands. The current pulled back, but Anna fought, step by step, making her way to the shore. Each breath was heavy, each step a struggle. She knew a pride of lions was nearby, and at any moment it could turn tragic. But there was no turning back. At last, her feet touched solid ground. She emerged from the water, soaked and shivering, with the cub in her arms, its heartbeat rapidly, clinging to her as if seeking protection. Anna caught her breath, but then her eyes fell on the lioness. The cub's mother stood a few steps away, her eyes gleaming in the morning light. The volunteers froze, expecting the worst. Tension hung in the air like the calm before a storm. The lioness moved forward slowly. Her movements were smooth but carried an untamed strength. Anna stood still, holding the cub tighter. She knew she faced a wild animal, and it could all end in an instant. But instead of aggression, something incredible happened. The lioness stopped beside her, her large muzzle gently touching the cub. She sniffed it, as if checking if it was unharmed. Then her gaze lifted to Anna. It was a long, deep look, free of threat, only something akin to understanding and gratitude. Everyone held their breath. The lioness leaned down, carefully took the cub by the scruff with her powerful jaws and lifted it. The cub dangled in the air, still trembling but safe now. The lioness looked at Anna once more, and in that gaze was something more than instinct. It wasn't words, but it was gratitude, silent, profound, real. Without a sound, the lioness turned and walked slowly into the forest. The cub hung in her jaws and she didn't look back, but Anna felt her gaze lingering. The pride followed their leader, disappearing into the tall grass. Silence fell over the riverbank, broken only by the sound of water and occasional bird calls. Anna dropped to her knees, her clothes soaked through, her heart pounding. She stared in the direction the lioness had gone, tears mixing with the water on her face. The volunteers surrounded her. Someone offered a hand, others whispered words of awe and support. But Anna remained silent. She knew she had just experienced a moment that happens once in a lifetime. The story spread through the reserve like a legend. People who had worked with wild animals for years said they had never seen anything like it. Lions are predators, their world governed by instinct, but that day nature revealed another side. The bond between human and beast, between courage and gratitude, proved stronger than fear and danger. Anna continued her work in the reserve. She still rose at dawn, checked trails, and watched over the animals. But now something new lived in her heart, a sense that she was part of this world not just as an observer, but as someone who had changed the fate of one tiny creature. Each time she passed that river, she paused and looked at the water, recalling the lioness's gaze. That look became a symbol of something greater, a connection beyond words and explanations. Anna's and the cub's story became a symbol of hope. It reminded everyone that even in the wild there is room for trust, courage, and wonder. Somewhere deep in the savannah, under the warm African sun, the little cub grows, unaware that its life began with one brave act and one glance that said more than any words. This story inspires us to believe in goodness, in courage, and in the possibility of understanding and unity with nature, even in the most unexpected places. It teaches us that one person's bravery can change the world, even if just for one small creature. May this story remain in our hearts as a reminder of the power of compassion and the beauty of the wild. Dear friend, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give it a like. Your support helps us share more inspiring moments like this. Share this video with your friends so they too can learn about the miracle in the African savannah. Leave a comment with your thoughts on this story, and let's inspire each other together. See you soon in the world of the wild, where every day holds new wonders.